Hi, friends. Welcome back to Faith and Family Home Conversations. I'm Bob Dyer. Over the last few episodes, we talked about you building a home where faith is formed through everyday moments, through intentional conversations, through consistent rhythms. But today, I want to talk about something every parent encounters, but often doesn't feel prepared for. What do you do when your child pushes back, when they resist, when they question, when they seem uninterested or even frustrated with faith itself? Well, let me begin with this. That moment is not a failure. It's not the end of something. And in many ways, it's the beginning. It's the beginning of something very, very deep and something important. Because a faith that has never been questioned is a faith that has never been owned. At some point, every child has to move from this is what my parents believe to this is what I believe. And that transition often includes resistance. So instead of fearing it, we need to learn how to respond to it. So let me give you three ways to navigate these moments wisely. The first thing is don't panic. This is where many parents go immediately. We feel the weight of the moment. We start thinking long term. We worry about outcomes and we react quickly, sometimes too quickly. But Proverbs 19:11 says, "Good sense makes one slow to anger, and it is his glory to overlook an offense." In other words, slow down. Not every question is rebellion. Not every struggle is rejection, and not every moment is a crisis. Sometimes it's a process. So the second thing would be to lean into the conversation. When your child pushes back, your instinct may be to shut it down, correct it, move past it, but this is actually a moment to engage. Ask, what are you thinking? What is bothering you about this? What doesn't make sense to you? And remember, James 1:19 says, "Be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to become angry." When your child feels heard, they are far more open to truth. And remember, questions are not the enemy. Silence is the enemy. A child who asks questions is still engaged, and that's what we want. And then third, guide, don't force. You're not trying to win an argument. You're trying to shepherd a heart. 2 Timothy 2 says, "The Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but kind to everyone, correcting his opponents with gentleness." And that does apply here. Truth still matters, clarity still matters, but tone matters too. So instead of forcing agreement, walk with them toward understanding and bring truth. Ask questions, help them think. But don't try to control the outcome in the moment. And let me add one more important piece. Keep modeling steady faith. Your child is watching more than they are listening. When they see consistency, humility, patience, a genuine relationship with God, it reinforces everything that you're saying, even when they don't respond immediately. Galatians 6:9, it reminds us that let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. That applies directly to parenting. So let me wrap this up and bring it together for you. When your child pushes back, remember this. Don't panic. Lean into the conversation. Guide, don't force. Stay consistent in your walk, because these moments, as uncomfortable as they may feel, are often where real ownership begins. Not overnight, not instantly, but over time. And that's what we're aiming for, a faith that is not just inherited, but personally held. Well, next time we're going to talk about how to help your child navigate culture without isolating them from the world they live in, because they are being shaped every day, and we want to help them engage with it wisely. So until then, stay faithful, stay grounded, and keep the conversation going.